Okay, good afternoon. Welcome to my channel. This afternoon I'll be treating Graham's law of diffusion with respect to WAEC, JAM, and NECO syllabus. For those candidates preparing for their exam, you ought to know some formulas under the Graham's law of diffusion. And first and foremost, what is diffusion? Diffusion is the movement of gas molecule from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration. That is that for that. And what is Graham's law of diffusion? Graham's law of diffusion states that the rate of diffusion or effusion is inversely proportional to the square root of a vapor density. So mathematically, what is the rate? We have R, inversely proportional to the square root of a vapor density. So we are going to change this proportionality sign with constant and equality sign. So we have R is equal to K over the square root of D. Then we what? Cross multiply. So we have R, the square root of D is equal to K. So we have R1, the square root of D1 is equal to R2, the square root of D2. So we divide both sides or interchange. So we have R1 over R2 is equal to the square root of D2 over the square root of D1. So I call this one the first formula. And again, you should note that vapor density multiplied by 2 give us molar mass. So we are going to replace the vapor density with molar mass in the first formula. So we have R1 over R2 is equal to the square root of M2 over the square root of M1. I call this the second formula. So let's go back to the first law, or the definition of diffusion, which I stated before, that the rate of diffusion is the movement of gas molecule from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration. So the formula for that is rate of diffusion is equal to volume diffuse over time taken. With that, we have R is equal to V over T. So that is the formula for rate of diffusion. So let's go back to the law of Graham's law, which we have R1 over R2 is equal to the V1, the first volume, divided by time taken the first time. We have V2 divided by T2. So simply, you have to what? Simplify. So we have R1 over R2 is equal to V1 T2 over V2 T1. I call this the third formula of Graham's law. So once again is our notes, or recall that your R1 over R2 is equal to the square root of D2 over the square root of D1. So anywhere you see your R1 over R2 with respect to the rate of diffusion formula, we have it to be the square root of D2 over the square root of D1 is equal to V1 T2 over V2 T1. I call this the fourth formula. Then the last but not the least, so we are going to replace our vapor density as done earlier under what? The second formula. So we are going to replace it with M, which is molar mass. So that we have M2, the square root of M2 over the square root of M1 is equal to V1 T2 over V2 T1. Equation 5. So I'll stop here for today. Tomorrow we continue with question under the Graham's law of diffusion.